following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
From up here, we should be able to observe.
Well, once we get one block closer. This area is disgraceful. Where is your urban renewal?
Being used
Where's the rest
elsewhere.
of the team?
But Svetlana will bring him along. Maybe.
Well, you guys did just leave him behind last time.
Yeah. I'll look the truck up.
Now,
I'll
how are you doing that? He has the keys.
Actually, he probably leaves the keys in it, knowing him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easier for a Native American
So
brother
you're
to
just
catch a
locking
ride.
with the key and you're not going to play with the key fob.
I'll use the key fob because I've already
Okay, you're
Red-
pressing the green button,
No,
the orange button,
I'll
or the red button?
press the correct button for what it's there for.
Yeah, but it was vague. On purpose.
And in German.
No,
I can read German
Oh,
to a degree.
would agree.
Green, orange, or red.
Green.
Yeah, the car just goes like...
Try the door.
It opens.
Close the door. Orange.
The car goes... Lock.
I don't know if I want to turn red on.
Red's probably some kind of
Anti.
super defense system that would shock you if you tried to touch the door handle.
I don't think it will.
He says pressing the button. The car goes like... The truck goes like... Now it just looks like armoured carapace. You've seen the
That's-
Batman movie.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll leave it. No,
Yeah,
actually,
it's
no.
like-
It's more obvious like that.
Yeah, but nothing could get into that.
That's what it says on the sheet.
All right.
Was it still drivable like that?
No,
What's
you have to
that?
unlock
The keys.
No.
Oh,
Gone forever.
good point. If you change, they're gonna...
Oh no! Like as long as they're on me before the change, they'll
Yeah.
stay on me after the change.
But
It's anything that's handed to me during the change.
So, it's getting darker as you arrive. The old opera house was once a magnificent specimen of Art Deco architecture. But its tiles are cracked and missing in places. Without any of the lights, it stands as a stark silhouette against the city's background below. Despite the abandoned ambience, tonight it has attracted a motley audience. A posse of loud motorcycles pull up, their riders swaggering in through the glass doors, while a series of shadowy figures slips up from the sewers and sidles towards a side entrance. At each entrance, a pair of black-clad figures wearing bright red gloves stands, carefully watching all who enter. There's a lot more gangs than you said here.
Did you ever see? You said, well, how did she say?
She's like 4 or 5. I was like, at least that.
Yeah, but you don't know that she told them only 4 or 5 gangs.
Yeah. The only ones I know for sure will not be here are the Verdowans.
Maybe the old biddies.
I'm not sure if the old biddies have a hand in this.
It looks like we've got a Rassilon's Tower situation.
The what?
You never hear the old nursery rhyme? Whoever to Rassilon's Tower would go must choose above, between, below.
I have not heard it, but I think I understand the message.
Did your parents sing no wise nursery rhymes to you while you were in your tube?
My chew? No, anyway. I did not know my parents for very long. Or my father at all.
Ah, this is America.
Stu.
Roof, Second floor, first floor. There might be an underground entrance, but I can't see that from here.
If there was, surely those sewer goers would have used it.
Well, that's a good point.
Unless it is being kept secret by the Black Rose, of course.
This entire area looks fairly abandoned, so it will be as secret as anything. And another fine house of culture is left languishing and abandoned in America, while the movie theatres and the drug party rave houses continue to boom in popularity, as what culture America had slips slowly by the wayside and is neglected.
She's already got her next movie going.
You told? I will kill you.
That wasn't in character.
That wasn't?
We're not there yet.
Well,
She hasn't
I
said.
thought you were both there!
She said she hasn't said. Let's get on my distance. Fly.
Okay, well hurry the fuck up, dude. I'm
Yeah,
not,
you
I'm
just
not
repeat
repeating
it.
the description.
Come on, let's go.
Ah, good. The bright red costume will make it very easy to sneak in.
Well, if I'm posing as a Red Faction member, but I'm going to need a different type of costume.
As I was explaining to Wumpy, it looks like a Rassilon's Tower situation.
Guarding the ground floor.
Two of them. I marked two anyway. It seems that they are falling for the usual thing of Black Rose Syndicate, and that is dressing very obviously like Black Rose Syndicate members. They should make it super easy. If they were dressed like hobos, we wouldn't know.
I'll be actually more scared of the hobos.
If you say so.
You haven't met the hobos in the city.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
If we wanted to go in from the ground floor, we could acquire some disguises from those two guards at the side.
The side entrance are wearing red gloves. They're enforcers. They're a bit stronger than your normal guy.
We might not be able to take them down in
Not
the time
quietly.
it takes.
Well, I might be able to do it, but getting there would mean I'd already need to be pretty much in a position where I could sneak in through the second floor.
Let me check for any. Do they have windows and such? Well, or windowless openings along the second floor.
We're boarded up, yes.
I might be able to peer through the gaps in some of those boards. Check if there's anyone up there. Let me have a go. Well, the eagle vision, by the way.
Oh, sorry, are those highlighters in the way? Just pass them back.
I don't suppose you brought any recording equipment with you, like a audio recorder or...
Did she look like Thomas Drake?
No.
Eagle. $34.
That was your stealth check, was it?
No, it's perception.
Then my move was up there.
He's perceiving from where he is.
Yeah, using the zoomed eagle vision.
And you specifically want to know if the open windows.
Peering through any gaps in the boards or anything. See, maybe moving controls or
Shadowy
people out
darkness.
there.
Doesn't seem to be any movement there. But there are very few gaps.
I cannot see anything through the boards on the second floor, but there are not many gaps, and it is quite dark. As it gets darker, I will lose my vision.
Oh, look to the buildings. Is the other buildings bigger beside it, or is it the most?
It is the most prominent. There are lower, what look like formerly very upscale places next door to either side, but the Opera House stood on an estate with a decent gap.
Alright,
around.
so in other words,
But the wall is damaged and falling down in places. You've been there, you guys have been there long enough to make a perception check for patrol detection, which I recommend doing. You don't have to do it, but I recommend it.
27?
27.
29.
Oh, they're all really good. You will notice there are Black Rose Syndicate making not quite regular patrols around the outside on the ground floor.
Glove colours red?
Black Rose Syndicate in the heart of America. Who's running this division?
Would have a name, Oleander.
What?
You... I thought you said Oleander.
We did.
That changes things.
Does it?
What can you tell us about him? Oh.
Used to run the French division, got promoted to this new expansion, it seems. Makes a point of publicly defeating superheroes to establish power and dominance. Very, very good fighter. But she hasn't run into me yet.
What was the name of that? Remember that guy who was posing and we couldn't take down?
Problem is Oleander's calculating. Smart.
So leaving the second floor without cover would be part
It's
of
a trap!
Yes. What?
I said it's a trap.
But
It was clearly a trap. What are you smiling like an idiot for, buffoon?
no reason.
What are you looking at me for?
Don't most people look at you?
Well, yes, but
What then? Why am I any different?
that was very accusatory. Huh.
Roof looks possible. That tile is very loose. We could possibly move it and get in through the roof. Fortunately, I have rope. And of course, Wumpy can fly. And his strong, caring, powerful arms, as solid as a foundation for any form of trust and bond, could bear us carefully, protectively into the midst of danger, depositing us with all the elan and grace of a velvet child.
This I can do.
How poetic.
Nonsense.
So we ingress through the roof, make our way down.
We should at least have a look at the roof. Of course, there is always Plan B. Walk in through the front door.
Which, if we're appropriately disguised and think we can pull off being a gang member, can work.
Yeah, but it's not likely for me.
What are you talking about? You just Grand Theft Auto.
I know he's a bit more.
Grand Theft Auto's protagonist is a solo.
Yeah.
Anybody who's wearing a particular
Yes, yeah.
colour of any
He is.
particular note is could
Sorry,
work.
British intelligence. I should understand.
Yeah. And unlike America, that's not an oxymoron.
Know your enemy
I mean,
and know your
Skinwalker,
friends
you
better.
You can change into whoever you want to be, essentially.
Once we're inside, you can change on the fly. If they become suspicious of one form or another.
You probably won't have enough room to fly in there. It'll be cramped spaces unless you plan on circling around inside the Opera House Theatre itself.
That isn't quite what I meant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Are there any Russian gangs that are part of the thing down there?
Kubashievsky District Govniks.
The The
What, that's an actual...
drunken Hicks noise.
Drinking things.
Russian gangs. Yeah, there might be some Russian
How
gangs.
do they dress?
The usual, they've got their big long coats with the no sleeves thing on, little spikes there. They're Gore-Tex babushkas.
Okay, so nothing that I could, unless I took one out, could approximate.
There are people still coming to this meeting. Not all of them will just
So
be down the street.
many
Well,
gangs.
I mean, we didn't know they were going to be here already. We assumed
Motorcycle,
it was
another
later.
motorcycle gang pulls up. There's a bit of a stare down.
Between two motorcycle gangs. Yeah.
The Hell Riders and the Devil Satans.
I think we need to get in there before there's no room to move.
Red faction are arriving. Pull up in a couple of chop top cars. Get out, swagger around, looking at everyone.
You'd
Go in.
think that most
Like
of these
precisely a minute later, some blue cars pull up in a van, and some blue gang group roll out, sort of swagger around and go up on in there.
you'd think some of these gangs would be a bit smarter and not trust them after what they did to the
The 4K.
4K,
10K.
10Ks,
10Ks, the tracers.
and the traces.
Tracers are here.
So
The
10K.
Chinese gangs.
So there's 10Ks here, is there?
Yep.
Even though they wiped out half of them.
They don't know that. They don't know that.
If the leader hasn't come back
True,
to tell them
there
yet.
weren't any survivors or anything to tell them who did that.
Well, there was one, but he's probably still in care.
Some, like, really Mad Max looking rides put up with spikes all over them, and these, like, mechanical mohawk guys clamber out. One of them's got, like, two big Tesla things going up in the shoulders, like big rusted iron claw. Swaggering out there, a bunch of local guys like, what the fuck the hell are you?
But interesting characters.
How is it?
Freak show.
How is it the military haven't got a hold of this?
A mini pulls up, and like two Harlequin dressed women get out, then a huge big guy with a metal juggernaut style helmet on, bare chest with a big hammer, like carnival hammer, come out, and like another woman in like a long flowing thing with a porcelain mask around her face. These are the Carnival of Shadows. You guys probably don't know them.
No, we haven't met most of these.
It's because no one investigates the sudden appearance of a fucking carnival on the edge of your town.
Well, there's only one person that watches the edge of the town for us. He never tells us.
The town has a lot of edges, man.
Speaking of the town's edges, like a very distinct, like it's a Corvette. It's not quite black. It's very dark grey. Gets out. Like two guys get out of either side, wraparounds, slicked back hair, long coats, katanas. The edgelords are here. There's two of them.
Well, if we're looking for someone to take disguises from, we should watch these alleyways. We can't exactly get someone on the street who's coming down the main street. Too much activity.
The sinners arrive.
Well, we need to make a movement soon. Like, how are we getting in? Like, I can use GTA to try and get through the front door, or I can use Sea Thief to try and sneak in through the
The jackhammers are here.
tops.
Well, we should check out the roof first. I can fly us up high enough, and then if you can observe from the sky.
There's a gang there here. You just need one little shove. Powder kegs everywhere and no match.
Yeah, we still need to get the information about Black Rose. Then we can set the powder keg off.
But one does not normally set off a powder keg while one is amidst the keg. That is a quick way to get your nipples blown off.
It's not like we could go down there and impersonate, like, for example, a Red Faction member, and then make up an amount that's higher that you're getting paid than the Blue Faction right in front of them.
Furthermore, the Red Faction members there would probably immediately identify that you're not part of the delegation.
They're not remove them of weapons as they go in.
No.
Oh, that's more than just a powder keg.
Some guys in very nice business suits arrive.
Perception
Look like
those
mafia
guys
types.
specifically. 34 again? So
You've never seen them before.
How does the Black Rose operate? Based on your knowledge, Camille?
There's
They're
very
not the
little
type-
information about them. It's
Okay.
almost like they're a fairy tale and don't exist.
So So they move into a territory. What often happens to the other gangs?
They usually end up working for them, which makes it hard to prove they exist. Gangs keep doing gang things, you see.
Okay, so they're not the type who would deliberately cause a powder keg to eliminate a lot of competition in one fell swoop?
I wouldn't imagine so, but that doesn't mean they haven't done it.
It'd also be a good way to create. This would be a great get manpower. Why would you wipe out the manpower that's already established in the city? You have to bring your own in.
And then waste them. This city has a reputation for crushing the super powerful. After all, they make guardian robots here.
Yeah, and
But I love the American ideals of freedom for all, unless you're different than what we like.
Even if we do want to set off a powder keg, we still have to
Tugs on the
find out
collar.
what the overall MO is, what this meeting's about.
Roll my perception check.
I mean, the whole point, I believe, if I could understand our contact, was that they wanted
Who
us
was your
to...
contact?
But that's classified.
Isn't.
Is that they wanted us to be covert and gain intel, not go loud.
It's likely that is just what is wise. I think they would be very happy if we could just bust in there and kick everyone's asses, but I don't think that is quite within our ability.
not with this many
Not
here.
with this many, from this many different factions. There's going to be a lot of enemies here, but they'll quickly become allies if we start fighting.
Would you like to alight upon the roof, Camille? We could check out the roof access, see if it is indeed viable.
Very well. Let us slip the silly bonds of gravity.
Up quite high. Over. Down. Stealth.
She's much better than last time.
Better how? You mean less grumpy?
Yeah.
Well, she just got a promotion she didn't
19
agree with
on
last
stealth.
time.
To make a quiet, fast dive onto the
She
roof.
saw it as a demotion, but
You don't know.
Well,
she's probably happy to be in the field again.
Remember, the Soviet one occasionally says things that are crazy and wrong. You shouldn't listen to her if they sound like they would be wrong to you. She accuses people of things sometimes. Wrong things.
You read the newspaper with the movie thing, didn't
I
you?
did.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that was in the paper.
I'll drop form just so I don't have the wings to try and hide while we're up here.
So Camille does know it was a Soviet gave her the paper, remember? She scrunched it.
Yes, she
read
does
it,
know,
scrunched
yeah.
it up.
It's just like a little local rag, though. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't have distribution. It's not the time.
Times.
I'll do a spot check on the roof for guards already. 22.
Right. Now you're in the center of the upraised dome-like roof. Looking down, you can in fact see that there are guards on every corner of the roof, covered in off-white marbleized sheets. And they're looking down at the entrance there, and they also have long bulges in the sheets beside them, indicative of rifles, should the need occur.
I'm sure she's probably already noticed, but I'll just point them out.
All over there. Roll to not be distracted by bomb.
Is this a will check?
Probably. Depends. I don't know what your character likes.
25?
Barely enough.
Barely.
I don't know what your character likes. It's pretty much up to you.
But
Right. I'm now going to try and remove some tiles. Seems legit. That'll make some noise. And the other two probably not in range. Wriggle backwards. very badly, and it's probably going to make a bit of noise. I can carry on, but I've opened it up enough for a very slim person to slip inside. I can't get in because I'm too buff. But that skinny gamer boy might be able to slip through.
Of course. I could change form to go with him if required.
Would you be able to slip down there with your largeness?
I'll just become an approximation of Xander.
Isn't that visual only? Don't you
Oh,
actually
right.
still
I
have?
Yeah, you know, I
actual
can't go smaller, but I can go bigger.
You can appear bigger.
Appear bigger.
You're
Yeah.
not actually bigger.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Perhaps if we taped down Soviet's bust, like a lot, like way more than would ever be necessary. Goddamn Americans and their obsession with buying booze. What's wrong with this country? It's because they tipped all the tea into the river. That's the problem.
It would all win to the boob.
Just had to conquer a whole country and push all the people into little ponds. Perfectly good British governance, but
Believe me, I'm aware of that more than anyone.
of course, pardons my insensitivity.
Shall we get back to the others, or do you wish to look around some more?
There's no point in taking me back if I'm already up here. I suppose I could try and get rid of a few more tiles and we could get inside, but really, all the player characters should be involved in the adventure.
I will go back and tell them what we have found. Still. 29.
It's just an eagle, right?
It's the
An
regular
unusually large, who can tell from a distance, like how big you are.
Stealth to appear behind these guys again.
But that don't count, son.
25.
No. I know you're there. I know you're there.
I mean, he does have dust-off effects and wind gusts whenever he goes in.
We have found an excess on the roof, but only for one slim of build.
Oh, me? Oh, okay.
And we might be able to get
I don't know why
Svetlana
he
in
doesn't
there.
use scout fluffles.
Oh, scalp fluffles.
It's train with the fear.
Hey, look. If April O'Neil can crawl through us to one of those little sewer grates, then
They'll only work for you once. You want to use it here?
I think they've already decided that I'm too busty.
I mean, you're excessive and unnecessary.
Is that the whole character?
Capitalist
I mean,
people.
thanks for lampshading that. I mean, who the fuck needs subtlety attack?
Not us.
I see here on your resume you've listed your greatest weakness as honesty. Now, I would view that as a strength. That's a good thing I don't give a fuck what you think, huh?
Your fucking suit sucks and that tie is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And her? Well,
Like, who the fuck matches their tie with their shirt? Come on.
We just need to find an entrance for the bigger of frame among us.
Xander is cradled into the air with the loving gay whatever.
The loving gay whatever.
You land on the roof. Right. You need to have a look around in there and determine if it's worth opening it up more. Because it makes a little bit of noise, you see.
so I'll change into thief.
Okay.
Take Fluffles. If something goes wrong, he will run back to us.
You bought a brother
I
with you.
He is powerful.
won't take him. If I take him and I change drop forms,
He will follow along,
No.
won't you, little one?
Looks at him and goes like,